And above them, in the broad archivolts, a continuous chain of language and of life, angels and the signs of heaven and the labors of men, each in its appointed season upon the earth. And above these, another range of glittering pinnacles, mixed with white arches edged with scarlet flowers, a confusion of delight, amidst which the breasts of the Greek horses are seen blazing in their breadth of golden strength, and the St. Mark's Lion lifted on a blue field covered with stars, until at last, as if in ecstasy, the crests of the arches break into a marble foam and toss themselves far into the blue sky in flashes and wreaths of sculptured spray, as if the breakers on the Lido shore had been frostbound before they fell, and the sea nymphs had inlaid them with coral and amethyst.
A company trading in artificial intelligence stocks called Rollover Data Mining has been set up trading on the mysat.com marketplace. We believe from a line in Venice. We also believe that they are doing more than trading in stocks. They are developing their own artificial intelligence market software. A program to accurately predict stock prices has been found on the MineGate-EscapeNet.com ABC key. The value of the current equity market is worth $22 trillion. This figure now has to be seen as vulnerable and unstable. We are handing this case over. It's too big for a national agency to handle. We're transferring to Bible level 0067 to come into effect at the end of transmission. The following has been found on MineGate.
MineGate.
MineGate data mining has achieved a performance breakthrough with its evolutionary new genetic data mining technology. Genetic data mining is the automatic extraction of prediction and classification rules from databases using advanced quantum encryption technology. Genetic data mining can discover prediction rules in data which no human mind could ever have found, and which are beyond the reach of today's technologies. This process is being done utilizing holographic quantum neural technology. It has been in existence for a short few months and is based on Hilbert mathematics. It is abstract and complex. In one sentence, it is the fusion of the laws of nature and quantum encryption and decryption. Over the past 2 months, MineGate data mining has focused its marketing efforts towards providing stocks data prediction services. Clients already include the United States Department of Defense, the Canadian Defense Departments, the National Research Council of Canada, as well as the Bank of England and Morgan Stanley Banking Technologies. I set up MineGate in Zurich by a lake in the mountains. With the brilliant precision of the Swiss, it seemed a natural place to plan a program to predict the stock market. I converted an old mill into a high-tech office and set about creating my own waves and mountains by making the largest financial database ever made. My aspiration was to understand the natural forces that shape financial markets, and by understanding them, tame them. I paid the rent by selling advice on foreign currency markets to big banks and corporations. But my soul lay in a larger project. I believed it was possible to accurately make predictions about financial markets. I believed I could change capitalism and make the world a better place. It would mean financial projects could be longer term, fewer businesses would go bust, fewer people's savings would be wiped out, and growth would be higher. In a very real sense, the world would be a better place. Once I had my vision, I recruited the brightest young PhD physicists and statisticians I could find from Berkeley, CERN and other world-class research centres. One of the first and most basic things we found from our data gathering was that there is a fragile but statistically real relation between the past prices of a financial instrument and its future price. I like to think of the analogy of the drunken sailor. After he has taken 100 steps, the chance of the sailor being further to the left than he started off is the same as the chance of his being further to the right. This 50-50 chance means that in the jargon, his drift exponent is 0.5. The drift exponent of foreign exchange prices I studied is 0.58. It's as if the sailor is stumbling in a high wind that keeps pushing him in one direction. I call it the capitalism constant. My interest was treating the stock market as if it were a huge lake and discovering how all the ripples worked, not in working out how the huge rocks like 9/11 or bearings going bust affected the lake, but in finding how the small ripples that run the lake most of the time worked.
I'm walking past the Salute Church. It took over 50 years to build.
I took much of my inspiration from physics, and in particular from the 1960s physicist Benoit Mandelbrot. He decided that objects should not be limited to having one or two dimensions. Objects which were regular in a particular way, irregular in such a way as to look more or less the same on large and small scales, could have further fractional dimensions. Mandelbrot thought financial data might be fractal in this way, as a result of his research on the fluctuation of cotton prices over several centuries.
I'm walking past the Salute Cathedral now. 1,156,637,000 wooden piles were driven into the mud to provide the foundations, and it took over 50 years to build.
Time, it seemed, had fractal dimensions too. Armed with tools like fractal analysis and relative time, I began to ask a set of questions of the price of data. If time is relative, what might it be relative to? If it is indeed fractal, how did it get that way? And what insights might it provide into the structure of financial markets? In particular, what does this say about the biggest single factor in a trader's life, price volatility? I discovered that periods of high and low volatility persisted for much longer than should have been the case if the markets followed a random walk. Indeed, the data showed that there was a direct correlation between levels of volatility and levels of market activity. So sensitive is this correlation that the lunch breaks on the big exchanges show up in volatility data. I could see that on the Tokyo Stock Exchange, brokers have a long lunch break. On the London Stock Exchange, they take a short one, and on Wall Street, they don't break for lunch at all. I was on my way to unlocking the stock market, and started to test my theories, and gradually I believed that I could not be stopped. I had finally worked out how to shift the world's financial axis. Time will tell if I am a lunatic or prophet. I must leave you now. I have a boat waiting for me, and it should lose the detective altogether lost and confused. She already knows too much about my invention. My life is a lot more complicated than you think. I can't say for sure where it will end up. I would like to tell you more, but my time is up. Maybe another time. This is where the trail ends. You can come no closer than this. Maybe I will hear from you one day when you have done the walk. Goodbye, and thank you for listening.
Interrotto, come abbiamo fatto all'ombra?
Abbiamo visto un campiello che non aveva